And welcome back to class on this new day of the week. Of course, we'll be using practical technology in the classroom. The title of the lesson that I gave you on Friday was Refugees and Me. So with that in mind, I said I would ask some general questions. And who can succinctly tell me, based upon general reading over the weekend, what is the refugee crisis? Right, there are different refugee crises in the world, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But taking a step back, what is the refugee crisis in the world? People, in this case, right, leaving their home country, not staying in it as a displaced person, but leaving their home country maybe due to famine. Climate refugees is a term that's being bounced around, maybe due to war, maybe due to specific natural disasters, right? Excellent. And where are different places in the world where we have refugee crises? Syria, excellent. Colombia is one, although hopefully that'll get better now with the possible peace treaty. Africa and African nations, they are trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea, and we see that on the news, and it's a refugee crisis. Exactly. Very good, very good. Well, what we are going to do in our class is to study the refugee crisis, and we're going to do that in different ways. One, we're going to be looking at a few succinct videos on the refugee crises around the world. Secondly, in the class, we're going to be looking at a couple articles. I've chosen one particular from an online resource, and we're going to be reading that. It's an upper level article. So you'll be dividing into groups, and you'll be looking at that article, and also using your graphic organizers. I had told you the one that I had used, but there are many out there. You have packets, you go online, and you will be presenting that in a PowerPoint or emails, Prezi fashion, presenting your findings to the class of different segments of that article. Also in our class, we're going to go to a homeless shelter. There's not a refugee shelter here, but a homeless shelter if we can on Saturday, and see how economic need impacts people. And finally, what we're going to do in our class is to write a letter to an elected official. And I will give you addresses of elected officials that you'll be doing that with. And as the elected official, you'll be sending out those letters. And you'll be using the online source called Grammarly. And Grammarly will allow you to spell check, to check all different types of things, even plagiarism, which I'm not too worried about that. Unless you're using a quote, then you want to attribute that. And you will be able to mail that letter in. So it's learning about something that's very emotional. And it's seeing something that can be very emotional, in our case, a homeless shelter. And it's also using English and improving English to write a letter to try and create some social change. Now, if you prefer not to send your letter out to an elected official, that's fine. You'll just be making really one hard copy, and you'll be sending that, giving that letter to me. I'll be grading the letter, but we're also going to peer review each other's letters. And you can read that or project that. And of course, this is Grammarly that we're incorporating in the class, and it helps with all sorts of different things. So it's an inclusive. It's writing a letter, using online technology, studying the refugee crisis, using graphic organizers to be able to explain it, and it's also actually visiting those that are challenged, in our case, homeless shelter. I want you to take a look at this video. This is the most shocking second a day. It's called Shocking Second a Day Video, dealing with children refugees. Powerful. I get weepy every time I see that. Let's now look at different words we can use to describe our feelings seeing that video. And thank you very much.